And they're already surveilling what we're saying because the moment I say something, I get a commercial to buy that thing that I was talking about.
Yep. Actually, I went to the local Polaris company a couple years ago looking for a blue Polaris 4x4, and then up on my Facebook page, there was a advertisement for a blue Polaris.
Okay, okay, wait, what is that?
A Polaris is a four wheeler.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I should know that. Okay, all right. I don't drive them,
But
so
it had the color blue, and it's like I can't believe this. They're listening to my
you
conversation.
should have said polka dotted and see what would have happened. Okay, so what's the next point?
Decent work and economic growth, and that's no property rights. And so what's going to happen is we're going to see what happened with Egypt during the 7 year it was a plague in Egypt during Joseph's time, where the government owned all the property at the end of the 7 years, and so we're going to see that in play again within the next 7 years.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Okay, and the next point?
And a lot of that's it's called expropriation. So if you don't fix up your house, the government's going to take your house, and you're forced out and have to move into the city housing. So we're already seeing that, especially in Germany. There's already they're already showing the pathway for that. The ninth one is industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and that's basically slave labor. So you're only allowed to, for example, work a certain amount of hours. We're already seeing that in the farm industry. So the farm industry, for example, you used to be able to work 80 hours or 90 hours, and as of next year, they cannot pass 40 hours a week for any employee. And as of right now, there's overtime after 48 hours. So the farmers have to cut off all their workers at 48 hours because they can't afford the overtime. And we see that in like Florida as well, where there is nobody to harvest the crops, and so they just have to let the tomatoes and oranges. They just can't harvest the crops because the work that they forced those who used to harvest out to other areas.
Right. So. It's interesting because they've done that in all different ways because, you can't even find workers at just even restaurants now, but.
Yeah. And then they have a reason not to show up to work every single day.
Right. Because they're getting free money.
And then the 10th one is reduce inequalities, but actually that is to make everybody the same. So it's global communism. So everybody is making the same amount of money. And we already see that here where I live, where the minimum wage is so high that everybody's paying minimum wage or just slightly above minimum wage, because the minimum wage that wage bracket is so high. So no matter what job you take, there's not that much difference in wages anymore. H-2A workers, they're nearly $20 an hour for their pay. And they're coming in from Mexico. It's basically your slave labor, modern day slave labor. So they sign up to work for like 3 months or 6 months, and they're stuck in housing, and but they're making almost $20 an hour, and don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
So H2A workers, H2B workers. So it applied to both.